Have you ever wondered why, every October, we fill our streets with ghosts, vampires, and witches? Why do we love these monsters so much? It's not just about candy and costumes. The story of Halloween's monsters is a journey through thousands of years of history, belief, and human psychology. From ancient Celtic festivals to modern-day horror movies, these creatures have always been with us, lurking in the shadows. So, grab your pumpkin spice latte, get cozy, and let's unmask the real story behind our favorite fiends. Our journey begins over 2,000 years ago with the ancient Celts in what is now Ireland, the UK, and northern France. They celebrated a festival called Samhain. This wasn't a party with plastic skeletons. It was a deeply spiritual time. Samhain marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, a time of darkness and cold, often associated with death. The Celts believed that on the night before their new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. The veil was at its thinnest. They believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to Earth. This wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Families would leave out food and drink to welcome the spirits of their ancestors. But it also meant that other, more mischievous or malevolent spirits could cross over to. These weren't vampires or werewolves, but fairies, sprites, and otherworldly beings from Celtic folklore, known as the AOSC. To avoid being harmed by these spirits, people would disguise themselves. They wore costumes made of animal skins and heads to blend in with the wandering souls and fool them. They also lit massive bonfires. These sacred flames were believed to have protective and cleansing powers, warding off evil spirits and guiding friendly ones. Druids, the Celtic priests, would make prophecies about the coming winter, using the fires as a connection to the supernatural world. So, the very first monsters of Halloween were the spirits themselves, and the first costumes were a form of supernatural camouflage. As centuries passed, the Roman Empire conquered most of the Celtic territory. They brought their own traditions, including a festival called Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans commemorated the passing of the dead. It's likely their customs merged with the Celtic celebration of Samhain. Fast forward to the 7th century, and Christianity was spreading across Europe. The church had a clever strategy for converting pagan populations. Instead of banning their festivals, they would absorb them. Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor All Saints, calling it All Saints' Day. The evening before, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve, which later got shortened to Halloween. This didn't erase the old beliefs though. Instead, it reframed them. The Celtic spirits and deities were reinterpreted as demons, devils, and witches in the Christian worldview. The wandering souls of Samhain became the restless spirits of the unsaved. The church wanted to replace the fear of pagan spirits with a respect for Christian saints and a fear of hell. This is when our modern idea of Halloween monsters really started to take shape. Folklore from this period is filled with tales of witches, Sabbaths, pacts with the devil, and ghouls rising from their graves. These stories served as cautionary tales, reinforcing Christian morality while keeping the spooky spirit of the season alive. So how did we get from ancient spirits and Christian demons to Dracula and Frankenstein's monster? For that, we leap forward to the 19th and 20th centuries. This was the era of the Gothic novel. Authors like Mary Shelley and Bram Stoker created iconic characters that would define horror for generations. Frankenstein's monster wasn't a spirit. It was a creation of science gone wrong, tapping into societal fears about industrialization and playing God. Dracula wasn't a mischievous sprite. He was an aristocratic, seductive predator from a foreign land, embodying anxieties about class, disease, and immigration. When millions of Irish and Scottish immigrants came to America, they brought their Halloween traditions with them. Telling ghost stories, playing pranks, and dressing up became popular. As these traditions spread, they merged with America's own folklore. At the turn of the 20th century, Halloween was becoming a community-centered holiday, but it was also known for vandalism and mischief. To make it more family-friendly, communities started organizing parades and town-wide parties, encouraging kids to go trick-or-treating instead of causing trouble. Then came the movies. Universal Studios' classic monster films in the 1930s gave us the definitive on-screen versions of Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, and the Wolfman. These weren't just scary figures, they were characters with tragic backstories. They cemented these monsters as the official mascots of Halloween. From that point on, our monsters were shaped by pop culture, evolving with every new horror movie, TV show, and comic book. This all explains where the monsters came from, but it doesn't explain why we actively seek them out. Why do we pay money to be scared in a haunted house, or jump at a horror movie? The answer lies in psychology. It's about something called safe fear. Our brains are wired to react to threats. When we see a monster, even a fake one, our amygdala, the brain's alarm system, fires up. It triggers a fight-or-flight response, releasing adrenaline and dopamine. Our hearts race, our palms sweat, and we feel a jolt of energy. But here's the key. Our conscious mind, the prefrontal cortex, knows we're not in real danger. We know the monster in the haunted house is an actor, and the vampire on screen can't get us. This awareness allows us to experience the physiological thrill of fear without the actual risk. It's like riding a roller coaster. You get the rush, but you're safely strapped in. This controlled burst of neurochemicals can be incredibly exhilarating, and even leave us with a sense of euphoria and accomplishment afterward. We faced the monster, and we survived. It's a powerful way to confront our deepest fears of death, the unknown, and loss of control, all from the safety of our couch or a decorated suburban street. For kids, dressing up as monsters is also a way to feel powerful, to playfully inhabit the role of the thing that's supposed to scare them. So, from the misty hills of ancient Ireland to the silver screen, Halloween's monsters are so much more than just spooky decorations. They are echoes of our ancestors' beliefs, reflections of our societal anxieties, and a safe way for us to explore the darkest corners of our own minds. They remind us that for one night a year, it's okay to embrace the darkness, to dance with our demons, and to find joy in the thrill of being scared. These creatures have been with us for thousands of years, and they're not going anywhere. Thank you so much for joining me on this historical haunt. What's your favorite Halloween monster and why? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the dark, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Stay spooky, and see you next time.